Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is November 16th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. Check out our next trough here. It's pushing towards the west coast of North America, and we've got this storm system still ongoing across the southwest portion of the USA. Also some dense fog out there for western Washington, western Oregon. Heads up if you run into some of that. And we'll take a look at what is to come as we go through this upcoming week and what happens through the extended forecast as well. Some of the models are showing at some cooler conditions there across Western Canada, and we'll look at the latest on that. Looking at the Doppler radar right now, again, kind of scattered light precipitation around the region, so not amounting to too much right now, but you could get a little bit of an uptick in some of the shower activity here across Western Washington, Western Oregon today. In fact, you can kind of see it already developing across the region as that frontal system does approach. And if you want an affordable home weather station, click on that link down below to save 10% off. Does all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm testing 2 of these at my house. I highly recommend this weather station. Great smartphone app. So here we go. There's the next system kind of pushing into the Pacific Northwest. Best energy heading down towards southwest Oregon and portions of California as we go on in through tonight and in through the day tomorrow. Some light precipitation continuing across some of the Pacific Northwest there, but by the time we get towards Tuesday, we're starting to dry things out a little bit there. And then Wednesday, a mostly dry day here really across the Pacific Northwest, but by Wednesday night, the next system is pushing into the Oregon coast and Vancouver Island, Washington, and then we kind of stay fairly wet there as we go towards the end of next week. And this has a little bit of an atmospheric river characteristic look to it here as well. You can see the high pressure across the Pacific, lower pressure here, and that's funneling in some subtropical moisture back into the Pacific Northwest. We'll have to watch that one here over the next few days closely. Now, atmospheric river 101, it's a measurement of integrated vapor transport, that vapor in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it's based on duration over any given area. So it is a legitimate scientific term. Some people like to nickname these Pineapple Express. Somebody playfully nicknamed one, I think, a year or two ago that came all the way from Asia as a Panda Express. So you can call them whatever you want, but atmospheric river is a legitimate scientific term, and it conveys a lot of information to meteorologists in the community. So taking a look here at total precipitation in inches, as we go through this next system, you can see maybe a ½ inch for Seattle by Monday night, a little bit higher across some of the higher terrain of BC, nothing too crazy, but a lot of that energy, again, is going to be clipping portions, like Brookings, Oregon, some of the southwest Oregon coast, getting better amounts out of this next system. And then we turn our eyes towards the end of next week, again, better rainfall chances or better amounts there anyway, as that potential atmospheric river moves into the area. Now, looking at the extended forecast, you might have seen some of this in some of the social media here, how we might get cold as we go on into the later portion of November and on into the early portion of December. And if we take a look out there, you'll see as we go towards the end of the month, see that colder air aloft start to really gather there across Western Canada here. So this is last night's artificial intelligence model. And again, this is 850 millibars or right around 5,000 feet. Some pretty chilly air across Western Canada, but this is by no means any kind of guarantee for lower elevation snowfall into Seattle or Portland or BC or anything like that just yet. Long way to go on this one. I've seen these systems, slide down the east portion of the Rockies. A lot has to go right for this to set up. Although there is something to it, and that's why I'm showing you this. So if we take a look at the European model, we'll scroll off through yesterday's forecast, and we'll take a look here, and you'll see something that develops as we go towards the end of the month. And you see this big ridge get established over portions of Alaska and the Gulf of Alaska out towards the Aleutian Islands, and it allows that north flow to come back down. So the European artificial intelligence, the European is showing it here also. It's just so far out in the forecast that you don't want to get too caught up in these details just yet. But that's what the pattern looks like, generally speaking, when we can get some of these colder air intrusions into Western Canada. So if we take a look at the GFS ensemble mean, let's see what it says. We're going to scroll way off into the end of the forecast here. And again, you're looking up over 300 hours out now, and it does show that cold air here across Western Canada. But again, this is no guarantee for anything in particular happening here for the Pacific Northwest. Things have to go right when this colder air does gather across Western Canada for it to get down into the lower elevations for some snowfall. And if we look at the extended forecast on the European extended, it again shows that 2-meter temperature anomaly is below normal for that time period. So really, most models are pointing to this cooler than normal period here, but how this is going to unfold, what it will mean for us here in the Pacific Northwest is still very much uncertain. Now, 6 to 10 day, this isn't telling us much this time of year, and neither is that. I don't even know why I showed you here this morning. But anyway, we're watching for the potential of some more active weather coming in as we go through next week and then maybe on into the following week, though. And the artificial intelligence even showed kind of a windstorm up into Vancouver Island. So, yeah, check out the Patreon page if you like. And what else? We'll continue to watch things. Fairly quiet right now, but we do, like I mentioned, we do have the potential to get active here as we go towards the second half and the end of month of November. So definitely stay tuned daily, and we'll check it out and see what the latest model developments have to say about that. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.